Simon, each week on the podcast, we like to do a little bit of fun to wind out our podcast. We like to do a bit of a quiz. So, how about we do our first round of the quiz called This Week in History?
All right, Dan Barrett, coming at you with some toughies this week. April 9, 2009. Which mockumentary series about the public officials in a small Indiana town debuts on the NBC network?
Simon, this question may as well have just been written saying, what mockumentary series about public officials in a small Indiana town named Parks and what debuted on NBC? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
that was a gimme. That was a first up gimme. They get tougher, don't worry.
I
They
found
do
this,
get tougher.
I find it offensive.
Okay. April 10, 1953. Which film, the first 3D film in color, has its debut screening in New York City? I don't think you'll get this one.
I mean, the only film, like, when I think about, like, the first film in 3D, I think of House of Wax, which I assume is what this is? Question mark?
Yep, it's House of Wax. Well done.
Oh,
The
okay.
great Vincent Price. Well done. Good for you. Okay, and finally, let's go all the way back. We're going back to April 12, 1926, where in Germany, where a film is being shot, the silent film The Pleasure Garden. On this day, it was released in the UK. It is the debut feature for which filmmaker? Shot in Germany, a silent film called The Pleasure Garden is the debut feature for which filmmaker?
Okay, so I'm breaking this down a little bit. So the key parts are that it's shot in Germany,
Yes,
it's 1926,
sure.
okay, but released in the UK. And so I'm thinking, because it's the UK and it's the debut feature for which filmmaker, okay, and it wasn't just, which director filmed it, but like it seems like you're very specific in saying debut
It's a big
feature.
deal. Yeah.
So to me, like I kind of feel like the answer is Alfred Hitchcock, but the shot in Germany kind of makes me question that.
No, you're absolutely right. It is Alfred Hitchcock,
Okay,
his first film.
why was it shot in Germany? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. Tax breaks, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, so good for you. You got 3 from 3 this week. Well done. That was This Week in History. Now, the aforementioned birthday quiz.
No, not happy birthday. No, not that. Please, no, not happy birthday.
All right, Daniel Barrett. I think this is going to be a tough one. April 6, 1969. Let me just set the picture for those of you who don't know. Birthday quiz. I get 4 celebrities, all of whom are born in the week that's coming up. And there's something that ties them all together. Sometimes it's cryptic, sometimes not so much. But somehow these 4 celebrities are tied together. I'll give you a clue. In this week's birthday quiz, it's something to do with a role they've played. April 6, 1969, Paul Rudd. April 7, 1964, Russell Crowe. April 9, 1954, Dennis Quaid. And April 12, 1994, Saoirse Ronan from Ireland. That's a terrible accent. What could they possibly all have in common?
As part of my background is Irish, Simon, I find that offensive, and I'm close to walking off the podcast.
Which means you don't know the answer. You're giving up. Is that a forfeit? Did you forfeit?
Okay, look, here we go. I'm good for 3 of the 4.
All right.
And the 4th one, like you were saying earlier, that it's a role that they've played, and
Yeah.
I don't know, that's kind of what makes me like a bit iffy on what I'm about to do here. So, April 6th, 1969, Paul Rudd, okay,
Yeah.
known for playing the character Ant-Man, a character that gets big and small.
Interesting.
April 7, 1964, Russell Crowe. Put a pin in it, we'll come back to him.
Okay.
April 9, 1954, Dennis Quaid.
Well,
Dennis Quaid is at the star of 1986's Inner Space, directed by Joe Dante. Yes, I believe it is. April 12, 1994, Ms. Ronan, and I only mention that without her first name because I know it's not going to play well. Is this not the star of Little Women? Wait a sec. Little Women, Little Ant-Man, Inner Space, 3 people who know how to get small, okay?
Wow.
But then Russell Crowe, I can't think of a movie where he got small, but he's certainly a man that's gotten a lot bigger over years. So
right,
is the linking theme that these are all people that have gotten big and small?
Dan, I am so appreciative of the effort that you put in and how you have grown to embrace the birthday quiz concept by bringing this deeply investigative part to the podcast that you put in. Now, that's not the right answer, but it is a good answer, just not the right answer. Let me put it this way. Paul Rudd played Jennifer Aniston's gay best friend in The Object of My Affection and Steve Coogan's partner in Ideal Husband. Russell Crowe played a gay 20-something called Jeff, whose very doting father, played by Jack Thompson, is trying to find him a mate in The Sum of Us, 1994. Dennis Quaid played a married man who has a gay love affair in director Todd Haynes' Far From Heaven, opposite Julianne Moore. And Saoirse Ronan was one half of a gay love affair opposite Kate Winslet in Ammonite from a couple of years ago. So they are all straight actors who played gay roles, is the answer to the question.
In any of those films that they get big and small?
There's a joke there somewhere, but I'm not going to go with it right now at this point of the podcast. I don't think I should.
I am disappointed.
Done, Dan Barrett.